So it's not very often that you hear people talking about purchasing keyboards that are like laptops because they like it being silent. But I'm here to tell you that this keyboard, although it may be like a laptop keyboard, it's actually excellent for productivity as well as for gaming. So this is the Cougar Gaming Vantar S, and it's an awesome RGB scissor switch keyboard that gives you the silence of not being irritated while typing, as well as the silence you need while streaming. The body of this keyboard is a CNC unibody from an aluminium frame. In terms of its dimensions, it's 446 by 128 by 16 millimeters. This is quite a hefty boy. It weighs in at 910 grams. In terms of its keys, this is a full-size keyboard with 104 keys. In terms of the switches, as I mentioned, these are scissor switches with flat caps. The keys have anti-ghosting in a 19-key rollover, which helps with accurate responses with multi-key commands at the same time. Something cool about this keyboard is the fact that it features WASD arrow exchange. So this is an RGB keyboard. It features RGB underglow, and the RGB can be configured to be one of 8 color settings, either rainbow 2, a breathing, wave, content, rhythm, ripple, or even a customized RGB design. In terms of its connectivity, it is wired with a 1.6 meter cable. So now let's talk about the design of this keyboard. The first thing that stands out is the fact that it is quite heavy because of the unibody aluminium design. The second thing is that it is a full-size keyboard, so I like that because I'm used to using a full-size keyboard. And in the coming days, we're going to review a 60% keyboard, and you'll hear what I have to say about that. Just, it's something that I'm not used to. This keyboard also features the function, the F1 to F12, as well as media controls like music, volume up, volume down, mute, pause next. And those kind of buttons are actually quite useful because when we're streaming, or if you're using this as a streamer, instead of going to click and trying to figure out where your sound is, all you have to do is hit the media button and it changes your sound, reduces, increases the volume, all of those things. Yeah, full size, very quiet. I think the next thing we need to move on to is a typing test. So because it is a full-size keyboard, I mean, it can take my full hands as I'm typing, and there's plenty of space for me to move around, and I'm not squashed up like fingers fighting for space. So plenty of space. There's the 1.6 millimeter key travel. In terms of design, the one thing that I've noticed with this white version of the keyboard is the fact that there is some opacity or opaqueness to the keycaps, and with that you get to see what's underneath, as well as the colors don't seem as bright. And when I looked at some of the pictures of the darker black keyboards or the black keycaps, it's the RGB colors stood out so much more. The keyboard also features a brightness up and down, so you can turn the brightness to your specific liking in terms of brightness, and you can also have the ability of turning the RGB off on the keyboard. Preference. So now moving on to its intended market. I think this is going to be cool for streamers who don't want to be disturbed or distracted by mechanical keys while they're gaming or streaming. The other group of people that this talks to, I think that this talks very much to people who are in a productive environment and don't want to be creepy and naggy with those mechanical keyboards. So it's cool that it's such a silent keyboard. I enjoyed this very much when I used this at home, and what I found is that not having additional distractions, even something as annoying as a key click, could distract you, and having silenter keys allows you to be in the zone and get more work done. But that just might be me or overthinking things. So now moving on to price. So in terms of price, before we talk about the price, let's talk about its connectivity, but not connectivity in terms of plugging it in terms of supported operating systems. So according to the box, this is supported by Windows 10 and I assume Windows 11. I don't have an older generation laptop running Windows 7 or anything for me to test it on, but I'm pretty sure the keyboard standards have been uniform across Windows, so it should be supported by Windows as well. Now coming to the price. In terms of price, this retails for anywhere between 750 and 1,200 Rand, depending on where you can pick it up. The black version generally sells around 750. The white version is the one that costs a little more. I've seen it some places at the same price as the black, and other places I've seen it at 1,200 Rand. If you'd like to pick up one of your very own, there's a link in the description below to the Cougar South Africa website where you can pick one up for yourself. This keyboard is what we would regard as a chiclet keyboard because it uses or it utilizes laptop keys. The purpose of having scissor key switches for gaming specifically, firstly, is the fact that these key switches are quiet. So for quiet gaming, if you're gaming on your own and possibly streaming and you don't want that click noises to be getting into your stream and annoying your audience, then you would purchase something like this. The scissor key switches, the fact that it is quiet, also talks back to people that don't want to be annoyed by mechanical key switches. The third thing is that it's a much lower profile compared to other keyboards that stick up like this. So it's a more ergonomic feel because your wrist is almost flat like this and you're just lifting your fingers to be typing like that. So it's almost as good as typing on a laptop. Coming to my pros and my cons. I think this is an awesome keyboard, and the one thing I couldn't understand was the WASD swap. And I thought, okay, maybe if it's like a left-hand gamer or something, then instead of using the right hand, they could just like swap. I don't know. If you do know, why don't you let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, so this is an awesome keyboard. The fact that it has RGB, the fact that it is so quiet, and you have such a rapid response from the keys when you push it. And yeah, I mean, all in all, it's an absolutely lekker experience, and as well as the fact that it is low profile and has such an awesome feel to it. In terms of my personal opinions, I've enjoyed this keyboard 100%. In terms of the price, I'm quite happy with the price point, 750, 800 Rand. In terms of my rating of this keyboard, I'm gonna give this keyboard an 8.2 out of 10. I would go higher, but I mean, it's one of the first keyboards I've rated in a while. So yeah guys, you can let me know what you think about the Cougar Gaming Vantar S in the description below. It's available in both a black and a white version, and if you'd like to pick one up of your very own, there's a link in the description to the Cougar South Africa website. A big shout out to Cougar South Africa and Tech Traders for sending out this device for me to review, for me to test, and for me to share my opinions with you guys. If you have any thoughts about the keyboard, share them in the comment section below. Guys, thank you very much for watching. My name is Prashant, and I'll catch you in the next video.